On August 9, 1995, a company that had never turned a profit and was less than 2 years old opened on the stock market at $28 a share. By the end of the day, it was trading at $75. Two men became billionaires before the closing bell. The company was Netscape, and within 3 years, Microsoft would destroy it, without acquiring it, without a direct lawsuit, and almost without consequence. To understand what Netscape actually was, you have to remember what the Internet looked like before it. In 1993, the World Wide Web existed, technically, but accessing it required a computer science degree, a command line terminal, and a tolerance for frustration most people simply didn't have. The web was real, but it was invisible to the ordinary world. A 22-year-old graduate student at the University of Illinois named Marc Andreessen changed that. He co-wrote a piece of software called Mosaic, the first browser that could display images alongside text that a non-technical person could actually use. Mosaic didn't just access the Internet, it revealed it. For the first time, anyone could see the web as something visual, something navigable, something worth caring about. Andreessen moved to Silicon Valley and partnered with Jim Clark, the founder of Silicon Graphics, who had both the capital and the hunger for a next act. Together, they founded Mosaic Communications in 1994, later renamed Netscape. The goal wasn't modest. They intended to build the operating layer of an entirely new medium, the browser as the platform, the web as the world. Netscape Navigator launched in late 1994 and spread at a speed the technology industry had never quite seen. The company gave it away for free to consumers, betting it could charge businesses and enterprises for the server software on the other end. Within months, Navigator held an estimated 75% of the browser market. The web began to feel like Netscape's territory, because in almost every practical sense, it was. Then came the IPO, and the IPO changed everything, not just for Netscape, but for the entire technology industry. The 1995 offering ignited a mania. Suddenly, investors understood that a company didn't need earnings to be worth billions. It needed growth, users, and a story about the future. Netscape didn't just go public. It invented the template that Silicon Valley would use for the next 30 years. In Redmond, Washington, someone was paying very close attention. Bill Gates had famously underestimated the Internet. His 1995 internal memo, known as the Internet Tidal Wave Memo, was a rare public admission that Microsoft had been looking the wrong direction. But Gates had a quality that made him genuinely dangerous. He corrected fast, and he corrected completely. Microsoft had its own browser project already in motion, Internet Explorer, licensed from a small company called Spyglass, which itself was built on the Mosaic code base that Andreessen had originally written. There is a particular irony in that. The weapon Microsoft was about to aim at Netscape was built, in part, on Netscape's own intellectual foundation. The strategy Microsoft deployed had a name that would later become famous in antitrust law: bundling. Internet Explorer would be built directly into Windows, the operating system sitting on roughly 90% of the world's personal computers, not offered alongside Windows, not recommended during setup. Woven into the fabric of the system itself. Every computer that shipped with Windows shipped with Internet Explorer already there, already open, already waiting. Netscape's business model required people to choose to download Navigator. Microsoft's counter strategy eliminated the moment of choice. If Internet Explorer was already on your machine, already free, and already adequate, why would a mainstream user bother seeking out an alternative? The answer for most of them was that they wouldn't. Browser share is not one with features. It is one with defaults. Microsoft also used its leverage over PC manufacturers, the OEMs who assembled and shipped Windows machines, to discourage them from featuring Navigator. The terms were not always explicit, but the pressure was real. Manufacturers who relied on Windows licenses were not well positioned to antagonize Microsoft by promoting a competitor's product on the desktop. Netscape found itself systematically cut off from the distribution it depended on. The U.S. Department of Justice did eventually act. In 1998, it filed a landmark antitrust suit against Microsoft, and in 2000, a federal judge ruled that Microsoft had violated antitrust law and ordered the company broken into two. That ruling was overturned on appeal. The settlement Microsoft ultimately reached with the government in 2001 left the company largely intact. By then, Netscape's browser share had collapsed from above 75% to somewhere below 20%, and falling. America Online acquired Netscape in 1999 for approximately $4 billion, a number that sounds large until you recall that Netscape had been worth more than that 4 years earlier, at its IPO peak, before it had earned a single dollar of profit. The acquisition was less a rescue than a retirement. The browser that had introduced a generation to the web was being quietly set aside. What Netscape left behind, however, is not a footnote. The browser wars forced Internet Explorer to improve rapidly, which accelerated the entire web ecosystem. Andreessen's model, software as a free consumer product monetized on the enterprise back-end, became the default logic of the Internet economy. And in 1998, a Netscape engineer named Jamie Zawinski helped release the source code of the browser to the public. That project became Mozilla. Mozilla became Firefox. The open web survived. But the deeper lesson of Netscape is not about browsers. It is about the specific vulnerability that every platform company carries: distribution. Netscape built a genuinely superior product and held a dominant market position, and it was undone not by a better product, but by a company that controlled the pipe through which all products had to flow. Gates understood something Andreessen was still learning, that in technology, owning the platform below your competitor is often more decisive than competing on the layer they occupy. Marc Andreessen went on to co-found one of the most influential venture capital firms in Silicon Valley. Jim Clark started another company. The engineers scattered across the web companies that defined the next decade. Netscape as a product disappeared, but Netscape as an idea, the browser as the universal interface, the web as the platform, won completely. We live inside that idea every single day. Microsoft just made sure someone else got to charge for it.